What a bunch of hypocrites in the media and politicians. What I find irritating is the double standards between Trump and the opposition. Before the election, Republicans were afraid of a third party run, so they wanted a commitment by Trump to support any nominee that was nominated. However, after he secured the nomination, they were the ones who refused to do what they demanded he would commit to. Before the election in November, politicians and the media said they worried what Trump voters will do if he lost. After the election, he wins, and they do exactly what they worried Trump voters would do, which is take to the streets, commit violence, and completely disrupt day-to-day living. Before November, Trump was being attacked for not giving a blanket statement on supporting whoever the actual winner is, and people yelled, "He is threatening American democracy." After the election, Trump wins, and it is the liberals, the progressives, the political establishment, and the reporters all to the streets committing violence. In short, exactly what they were afraid we would do. I have never seen such blatant hypocrisy. Can they really not notice how arrogant they look to the voters? We play by the rules they set down, and yet when they don't get their way, they're the ones that are behaving like children. Oh, and for the media, will you please stop whining about how Trump is ignoring all the perks you used to enjoy, or all the years that traditions are being ignored? Personally, after 2016, I think it a good thing to have a more independent press away from politicians. Look at all the anonymous sources, as if they still had integrity enough that we would believe in their judgment on who is and not reliable sources. Anyone notice those leaks are always missing the one bit that turns it from a nefarious item to, oh, that makes some sense. And then media keeps saying, the leaks are coming from high up in the administration. You think maybe for those hearing the stories, the administration might think they are leaking or definitely not supporting their agenda, and just let them overhear a bit, then see if it shows in the press, and when it does, they let drop 24 hours later the part that explains everything. They find out who to trust, and the media integrity continues to take a hit. Each time, all the media had to do was just attempt to find some proof. Remember, Deep Throat in the 1960s told the media reporters to follow the money, but reporters still had to go out there and find the evidence in order to release it, which started the whole process. Today it seems like they're too lazy or too interested in getting a scoop to actually do any investigative reporting, and that concerns me. We need a strong media, especially now with Republicans controlling everything. Trump does concern me. That's why I want a strong media that can check him. This is not my ideal of a strong media. I also want to point out the last poll in the news media was a couple of weeks ago, and at the time it was about 31% for Trump, which was pretty bad. However, May 11th, I go and look on the internet, and Rasmussen reports at 48%. Gallup, though, does have him at 38%, but that's still an increase from the 31%. On May 8th, President job approval was hovering at 39%. That was a week before May 11th. Obviously, the poll numbers are not great. And all I'm trying to do is point out the fact that the reason why it is not working is because The media's integrity is so compromised after 2016, and they still act as if they did nothing wrong. They won't admit to doing anything wrong. Seems those polls have been saying a lot, but the media isn't pointing it out. And I'd also like you to notice the last time we heard a poll on the healthcare bill, we were down to like 19% approval for it. However, CNN's own poll released between, taken during 422 to 425 actually has those numbers up to 49% approving of the healthcare bill the House passed. What is going on? Obviously, it's their integrity that's the problem. It isn't fake news the media is feeding us. It is selective news. The information is out there. They just don't publicize what doesn't fit their narrative. This isn't new. They've done it before. But it is the first time their integrity has been so badly damaged, leaving many of us to do what the media used to do: investigate, no longer relying just on what they tell us to think about. Finally, the reason the fake news charge is working so well against the media is their outlandish commentary in 2016. Look at actual polls that were released by groups that the news media called trustworthy, and not one showed an actual landslide victory for Hillary Clinton. It is their commentary that prophesied a Hillary Clinton can't lose montage. How about the fact that the news mentioned Trump's signs being taken out of the people's yard? But what they failed to understand is Trump voters were protecting those signs. They were going back out to put new signs in, and they were protecting them. It showed Trump supporters were highly motivated to vote. And the country has been a 50-50 nation, and it was always going to be a base election. Both sides were disliked. It is harder to get someone to vote against their opponent than for you. If you think your candidate is going to win no matter what, and you're not exactly happy with that candidate, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to make that a priority to go out and vote. Hillary was not able to maximize her vote because everybody assumed she couldn't lose. While for over a year, Trump supporters have been called stupid, ignorant, uneducated, racist. So yeah, they were highly motivated to go out and say, you work for us. Yes, I think a more adversarial press, when not deranged, is a good thing. They clearly were severely co-opted, at least over the last 5 years and possibly over the last 3 decades. This is my opinion. My name is Eric Ost. What do you think? How do you explain all this stuff that's going on without going to some cockamamie ideal of a Russian conspiracy, wiretaps, Comey conspiracy, whatever? You honestly believe that Vladimir Putin is more knowledgeable about how to manipulate citizens' minds than the reporters who have been going to college and learning for themselves for decades how to cause us to act, and they got it wrong?